Hey, what is up guys? DRC3 here, back with another My Hero Ultra Impact video, and today I am doing an all new type of video. Actually, thanks to the people in my Discord, they came up with this idea and I thought, wow, that is a really cool idea. So they have made some of their own My Hero Ultra Impact memories and characters and things like that. Some of them have art, some of them don't. This one in particular that we're looking at on screen, I'm not going to show you the art because it is technically a spoiler from the manga. It would spoil the anime if you're only an anime watcher. Particularly myself, I am only watching the anime because I feel like when I read manga, I just don't get as much out of the anime as I normally would. I'm a person who can just visualize everything, so it just kind of ruins it for me. I did it with Naruto, and it just ruined the rest of Naruto for me back when Shippuden was a thing. So I'm going to be going over these kits that basically these people in my Discord have come up with and just reacting to them as I read them for the first time ever. If you guys would like to create your own kit or have your account reviewed, go down to the description below, join my Discord. It's a lot of fun. All right, so we have Scorchers here, and he came up with a UR memory and he's called it "You Don't Need to Do It All by Yourself," which of course is referring to Deku's Vigilante arc, which is going on right now. And then stats displayed are at DX, so he's writing this assuming that this would be DX level. So it increases speed by 40%. That's okay, you know. I guess I'm going to critique these two. There's plenty of memories in the game that have 50% speed. Like, for example, the badminton tournament has 50% and then increases by 5% with each following turn for 3 turns. You could probably do this at least 50% because you got all this other stuff going on. So at DX level, I would recommend 50%. And obviously this isn't actually going into the game, but you know, just to make the memory the best that it could be. Increases skill impact by 35% when there is a female character in the team. Like it. Increases characters plus ultra gauge by 10% for each ABL character. That would be interesting. We do have adventure weights, which increases your plus ultra gauge depending on each type of character on your team, but we don't have a memory that does it for having multiple of one type of character on your team, a mono type team per se. So that's actually a pretty cool idea. Increases critical hit rate by 35% when the character is below 50% HP. 35% crit rate is pretty ridiculous. That's really good when you pair it with the speed. Like, you made an insane memory, but you have done what all developers would do and put a stipulation on it where it's below 50% HP, so it makes it more fair and not just an overpowered broken memory. So I can see you put a lot of thought into this. And then it gives character the ability to make a last stand a total of 5 times. So there you go. He's going to get the crit, he's going to get the speed and all that when he drops below a certain amount of health. So that's actually pretty good. I don't know about 5 times for a memory. If this was like a character kit 5 times, I could see that. We don't have any memories in the game that currently give that many last stands, so 5 times might be a bit much. That is a little bit broken. I would tone that down a little bit to maybe like 2 times. 2 times seems a little more fair, and then hopefully whatever character you're putting this on in their kit, they have a last stand too or something like that. That makes it a little bit more fair and not so broken. On to the next one. All right, for this next one, we have Poco, and they have created a UR character. Now, these UR characters are obviously not limited to UA high school characters. They're not limited to My Hero Academia in general. It's just kind of random characters. You could create your own character if you wanted that you wish was in the My Hero Academia universe. So just keep that in mind as we go through these. It is called Reckless Revenge Red Zomorodi. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. Spell it phonetically in the comments, but I'm doing my best, guys. All right, so the plus ultra move is called Catastrophic Rampage. Deals, like, I'm impressed by the spelling too. I don't know if you have autocorrect on, but like, this is some good work, guys. Like, actually impressed. Deals 675% damage to a single opponent. Deals 425% damage to all adjacent opponents. Well, technically, all adjacent opponents are all opponents, so you might as well just have a well, I guess I see what you're saying. You're giving more damage to one particular opponent and then less damage. It's just worded a little bit differently than I think My Hero would word it. But yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Decreases the opponent's defense by 30% for 4 turns. Yeah, that's fair. I'd probably go more like 25%. 30% might be a bit much. And then for 4 turns, maybe even 20%. because that's still going to be like way better than any character we have in game, and it probably wouldn't be balanced. That might be a little too overpowered. Gives character the ability to make a last stand one time. Okay. This skill gains piercing shot and bullseye if character is below 60% HP. Oh, nah. This needs to be the other way around. If you want to make it balanced, this skill gains piercing shot and bullseye if character is above 60%, maybe even 70% HP, and then when they drop below, they lose one of the two or something like that. Or it switches. Maybe have it do bullseye above a certain amount and piercing below a certain amount. That'd be pretty cool. But having them both below 60% HP is a little bit crazy, because that's still going to be a long time for them to have piercing and bullseye, especially when they're getting a last stand. And if you put, well, let's say we put the last stand memory created by the other person on it, yeah, it's going to be a bit ridiculous. So yeah. Okay, action skill 1. Phantom Force deals 350% damage to a single opponent. Low chance of inflicting fear on the opponent for 3 turns. Okay. Higher chance of inflicting fear if the opponent is a villain. All right. That's fair. That's not overpowered at all. 4-turn cooldown. You've niced yourself with this cooldown. Action skill 2. Dual Glock Blast deals 380% damage to all opponents. Increases character speed by 30% for 3 turns. That's pretty good. Increases defense of all allies by 20% for 2 turns when used in a second or later successfully executed skill chain. Hey, you even got the tech hits in there. Let's go. Okay, so 1 status element, 1 tech hit. This could be a decent VE tower character if you have a cooldown reduction. If not, then it's not going to be. It's going to definitely be more PvP because you have a 5-turn cooldown. So I assume you're probably making this for PvP, unless there's a cooldown reduction down here that can make it PvE available. Overall though, the Plus Ultra, very, very good. The action skills, I feel like, kind of fit in with the characters we have right now. I don't feel like they're too overpowered. I feel like, honestly, the fantasy characters still might be more overpowered than these action skills. So you've done a good job not making these two like overpowered. They're pretty good. All right, his first auto skill, Reasonable Anger, increases character's skill impact by 40% for 5 turns when the battle starts. Increases character's max HP by 10% every turn up to 5 times. Hey, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Okay, you know what? This kind of counteracts your Plus Ultra with what you say below 60% HP, but then they're raising their HP 5 times, so they might not get down to 60% as easily, so it makes it not as crazy as you would think. It kind of counteracts it. So you know what? The way you have it worded up here with this auto skill is not terrible. That actually balances it out. All right, and then auto skill 2, I'll Take You All On, increases character's power by 40% for 5 turns when the battle starts. Gives character the ability to nullify all status elements for 2 turns when the battle starts. That's a bit, yeah. That's a bit OP. The status elements are... well, I assume that's just to self, so it's not as bad like as it could be. If you said to all allies, that'd be insane. But yeah, very interesting kit. I like it. This next character was designed by Common Folk 101. It is a UR character, Water Fairy Yumiko Kamea. I might be saying that wrong. I apologize. Plus Ultra move is Great Tsunami Wave. It deals 575% damage to a single opponent, deals 200% damage to all opponents. I think you've gone a little bit low on the single opponent damage. It could be a little bit higher. Like nowadays, it's more like 700% when it's DX, so you might be thinking like level 1 with this character, which is fine. Deals 200% damage to all opponents. High chance of drowning opponents for 3 turns. I don't think drowning will ever be a term that makes it into the game because that's like murder. And even though My Hero obviously has its fair share of, you know, bad things going on, the game itself is still very like kid friendly. So that will never make it in the game. High chance of, what is it, pushing back opponents for 3 turns or something like that? I don't know. Critical hit impact is increased by 35% when opponents are drowning. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. I would just once again change the word for drowning somehow. The first action skill is called Hydro Cannon. Deals 325% damage to a single opponent. Medium chance of drowning the opponent for 2 turns when character's critical hit rate is increased. Okay, so I'm guessing you're going to increase your own crit with this next action skill. Action skill 2, Aqua Wheel. deals 400% damage to a single opponent. Low chance of drowning the opponent for 2 turns. Decreases the opponent's defense by 35% for 2 turns. And increases critical hit rate by 15% for 3 turns. The defense lowering, a little too high. It's still nothing in the current game that is that good. Now you have lowered it to 2 turns in exchange for making it 35%, but still, with your drowning buff and then the 35% defense decrease and then the crit rate up, it's just a little bit too much damage. So yeah, you'd probably have to turn that down a little bit. But other than that, so far, I like the kit. Auto skill 1, deep dives, shortens skill cooldown of character by 1 when character has increased critical hit rate. That's awesome, but I don't know what your cooldowns are. So if these are like 3 turn cooldowns, yeah, that's BS. But I'm gonna assume you're doing like normal cooldowns, like 5, 6, 4, 5, something like that. So that's not bad. And of course, it's only when you have an increased crit rate. And then increases characters plus ultra gauge by 45% if Suyu Asui is on the team. Fair enough. I like that stipulation of having a specific character on the team. That's something the characters in the game currently could use. It'd be nice if you had a few characters like that. And then the second auto skill, Let Your Heart Flow, gives character increased critical hit rate by 25% when attacked twice. Nah, that's a little bit too, 3 times. 3 times at least. 3 times at least. Increases damage to drowning opponents by 30% for 2 turns. I'm assuming that also means when you've been attacked. So you need to somehow semicolon that, hyphen that. Because otherwise it's just making it sound like you're always increasing damage to drowning opponents by 30% for 2 turns when you don't have a stipulation. So you're missing something there. But once again, a little bit too much damage, maybe 15% increasing damage, unless your base stats are really low. If your base stats for this character are really low, you can do the 30%, you can do the 35%, but you need really low base stats for a kit like this. So you have just really kind of made an overpowered character. I don't know if you meant to do it on purpose, but just some of your percentages should be changed around a little bit. And I'm sorry guys if I'm critiquing yourself. I'm just saying what I say. I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm just saying what comes to mind. All right, on to the next one. All right, next we have Mia, and this one comes with an art that I believe Mia drew herself, so that's really, really cool. So we have a SR character, Bright New Star, and I might say this name wrong. I apologize ahead of time. I'm gonna do my best. Mayuku Kodo. That's got to be how you say it, right? Mayuku Kodo. And the plus ultra move is called Pulsar Punch. And I'm going to assume, just because I'm looking at 400% damage, this is the non-DX'd version of the percentages. Or I guess it is an SR character, but even SR characters usually have 500, 550, somewhere around there, I believe. So yeah, this has to be the Unawakened. You have the Unawakened art, so I'm going to assume it's the Unawakened character. Deals 400% damage to a single opponent. Makes character ecstatic for 1 turn. Also increases skill impact of all allies by 30% for 3 turns. 30% is a little bit high if this is in fact an SR character. Everything else is fine. Maybe increases skill impact of all allies by 10%. 15% would be more feasible for an SR character. Action skill 1. Power Wave deals 250% damage to a single opponent. Increases character speed by 20% for 4 turns. Also decreases opponent's defense by 15%. So decreasing defense is good. Increasing speed, if this is in fact an SR character, increases in speed don't really matter because SR characters aren't used in PvP, they're used in PvE. So overall, this action skill, I would say, is actually a little bit underwhelming for what we look for in SR characters, because you want status elements, you want technicals, things like that that are going to make them good in PvE content, specifically VE Tower. And so I would give her a status element or give her a technical, give her a stipulation. So increases speed by 20% for 4 turns if this thing is going on or something like that. All right, her second action skill is Glimmering Light. Regenerates 15% HP of all allies, so this is a healing type support, which is cool. Also increases characters plus ultra gauge by 30% for 4 turns. Love that on an SR character. Increases power of all allies by 10% every turn. Okay, that's not too much. That's actually not bad. max 3 turns when used in a successfully executed skill chain. Okay, that's good. You got the technical hits here. So give this one a technical hit, and you have a technical hit here, and it's actually a decent VE tower character. Auto skill 1, encouraging energy, reduces damage dealt to character by 20% when the battle starts. Okay, yeah, that's fine for an SR. Increases max HP of all allies by 25% if there are any UA high class 1A characters on the team. I do think this might be a little too overpowered right here. I would change that maybe to a specific UA high class character with like Yayorozu on the team or something like that to make it a little less overpowered, because increasing max HP by 25% as an SR character is really good. And then her second auto skill, Fresh Spark of Hope, sorry, increases character skill impact by 35% when battle starts. Increase is by 5% when character is affected by a status ailment up to 7 times. Okay, that I like that. That's something that's very thoughtful. Increases as you get afflicted. We should get something like that in the game for PvP when you're getting afflicted by status ailments. Just make yourself more powerful or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Increases character's critical hit rate by 60% when character is blind, bleeding, or burning. No. That's you've gone way too overpowered on that. Maybe like 20-30% would be more fair. 60% is just too much, because you know how many of the VE tower stages do these things. The bleeding and the burning specifically, they happen all the time. So 20% or so is plenty for a SR character. Plus you have the memory, which would be like 50% crit. This character could potentially have 50% crit with a 20% here. You don't need them having 90% crit rate. That's way too overpowered. But at the same time, if you just have technicals here and no status ailments, I might give you the 90%. I might let you keep the 60% because then you're lacking status elements. So you'll have to have another character for status elements. But I still feel like at that point, this right here just changes this character from an SR to UR level. Like, it's a big difference. Like, that's actually insane. And then of course we have the art beautifully drawn out so you guys can see it. All right, so we have Common Folk again, Common Folk 101, and now we are getting into the more My Hero-esque characters, if you guys stuck around this long. So now we have a Youthful hero, Recovery Girl. I don't know if that's going to be Recovery Girl as an old lady, or it'd be kind of sick to see her, like, a card of her in her prime. That would be actually really, really cool. But let's read the kit. Plus Ultra Move, a big kiss to make you better. You know what, I love that. That's a good title for the Plus Ultra move. Good job with that. Regenerates HP of a single ally by 40% of character's HP for 3 turns. Okay. Increases all allies max HP by 25% for 3 turns. Okay. And then decreases damage to character by 50% for 1 turn. You know what? That's not too overpowered, and I like it. All right. Action skill 1. Have some gummies. Oh boy. Deals 400% damage to a single opponent. Regenerates all allies' HP by 20% for 3 turns. Okay, let's continue reading this before I critique it. Increases character's HP by 25% if character does not have composure. Increases character's HP by 50% if character does have composure. Okay, so first off, way too much of an HP increase with this. If they have composure, tone it down to like 35% maybe. 35% is fair compared to the 25% there. Generating HP of all allies by 20%, and then also having your Plus Ultra gives so much HP return as well is going to be a little bit too much. So I would make it maybe like 15 or 10%. Other than that, pretty good. Action skill 2. Nurse's Intuition, medium chance of cleansing any status ailment on all allies for 2 turns. Shoot, make it 3 turns. If it's a medium chance, that's like 40%, by the way. That's the actual percentage for most medium chance characters. Make it 3 turns. It's not even 50% usually. Increases defense of character by 35% for 3 turns. Okay. Give her a little bit of survivability, increase her HP. I like it. Auto skill 1, provide aid in a crisis, shortens skill cooldown of all allies by 1 when their HP is regenerated. No. Hell no. Hell no. You're telling me you're going to regenerate HP for 3 turns, so for 3 turns straight, you are going to be lowering their action skill cooldown time. No. That is way too much. That could potentially get people like, what, 2 turn cooldowns? Like, that's nope. That will never ever be a thing in the game. Okay, so shorten skill cooldown of all allies by 1 when their HP is regenerated once every 3 turns would be a way to put it. If you add the once every 3 turns or something like that, that would be better and it wouldn't be ridiculous. Character is immune to any status ailment for 2 turns when attacked. From the start of battle. Add from the start of battle and then it makes more sense, so that's not bad. Auto skill, keep calm and carry on, gives character composure for 4 turns when battle starts, so there's the composure. And then increases character's heal rate by 20% if Izuku Midoriya is on the team. Ooh, no, 5%. 5%. Your percentages are already so big up here. 5%. 5% is fair if Deku is on the team. 5%. Not sure heal rate is even a thing, but for her it is. Yeah, like you just went crazy on the heals there. You were trying to make like a ridiculous meta top tier unbeatable healing support like that. Yeah, you have made Recovery Girl too strong. Okay, so just lower those percentages a little bit and you actually got a really, really good kit. All right, for this one, we have Scorcher again with a Mind UR Villains Assemble Tomura Shigaraki. The skills displayed are at level 3 and DX level 2, as he says. So let's get into it. Plus Ultra, Decaying Calamity. Deals 650% damage to all opponents. Decreases all opponents' speed by 35% for 4 turns. Ooh! I love that. We need a meta villain in PvP. That's actually, like, I know that percentage is a little high, but send it. Send it. Increases all ally speed by 35% for 4 turns. Yeah, make Shigaraki meta. Send this. Put this in game. Skill impact is increased by 45% if the enemy is a hero. Put this in the game. But if we're going to do this, we got to add in some heroes that also have ridiculous kits like this, because I'm ready to get out of the fantasy era of speed BS and actually get some pro heroes and villains into the game that are useful in PvP. All right, action skill 1, Death's Touch. Deals 400% damage to a single opponent, decreases opponent's defense by 30% for 4 turns, high chance of inducing fear for 3 turns. And you've given yourself a cooldown time of 7. So I will accept your percentages. I'll accept your high chance, okay? Because you gave yourself such a high cooldown. Action skill cool. Action skill 2, Decay Wave. Deals 275% damage to all opponents, okay? You could probably actually move that percentage up a little bit. Decreases opponent's speed by 30% for 3 turns. Okay, now we're just getting a little too wild. Make it 2 turns. Make it 2 turns, because then that gets you to your plus ultra where you lower it again, so that way you're not stacking the speed lowering, right? So make it 2 turns. Decreases opponent's speed by 30% for 3 turns. Increases all allies plus ultra gauge by 30% when used in a successfully executed skill chain. Make it a second or later successfully executed skill chain just to make it less ridiculous. Additionally, increases all allies critical hits, including character, by 15% when used in a second or later successfully executed skill chain. Okay, so have both of them be that, second or later. And then also make this, I would say, villains. Also, additionally increases all allies critical hit rate by 15% if they're villains and when used in a second or later successfully executed skill chain, just so it's not too overpowered. Reduced characters, I assume you meant reduces characters' action skill cooldown time by 2 when used in a third or later successfully executed skill chain. I'm actually okay with that because that brings this down to 5 and that brings this down to 3, which is a really wonky way to do it, but I'm okay with it. All right, and then auto skill 1, Symbol of Fear, induces fear to all opponents for 2 turns every 4 turns. Nah, you can't do that. You can't just oh, you're feared now, because then they'd just be feared at the start of battle, then 2 turns later or 4 turns later they'd be feared again and they can't do anything. That's not exactly fair. So you would have to change that to a way where induces fear to all opponents for 2 turns every 4 turns if let's say the first action skill is used if one of your action skills is used in a third successfully executed skill chain. So that's going to give you double technical hits on a double technical on this one and then a technical hit on this one, which actually makes it more VE tower friendly and helps you in PvP, so it's not so overpowered. And then gives character a barrier when the opponent is induced with fear. You're giving yourself a little bit too much here. Increases characters plus ultra gauge by 25% when opponent is induced with fear. I think we could even just go without these two because like this is just ridiculous on its own, even with adding in the stipulation I said. But you know, it's your character, so fair is fair. True Villainy is the next auto skill. Permanently reduces cooldown time by 1 if there are any heroes in the opponent's team. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like that idea. I do like that idea. Increases character's power by 10%, speed by 10%, and skill impact by 10% for each hero there is on the opponent's team. Ooh, I like that. We actually need that in the game where you get buffs based on the opponent's team. It'll make people think more about their teams and what they're choosing, what they're doing. That'd be cool. Really hard to implement, but very cool. Increases character's critical hit rate by 15% if there is a hero in the opponent's team. Make it like 2 heroes if there's 2 heroes in the opponent's team because you've done all this other stuff. Crit rate, you can't give him everything. So couldn't fit any picks, find any picks that could fit him. Fair enough. So yeah, actually this one might be one of my favorites so far. This one is actually really, really cool. We have Common Folk coming through with another character. And right here they say they were trying to make a support character, but they're not sure they're pleased with the results. We'll read through it and I'll tell you if I'm pleased or not. All right. So we have a potential May Hatsume. It is an SR version. Okay. So keep that in mind. Genius inventor May Hatsume. And we have the plus ultra move called Time to Shine My Babies, which by the way, just putting this out there, I would love a May Hatsume in game. I know a lot of people in the Ultra Impact community would love a May Hatsume in game. So like, I appreciate you doing this kit. It's actually nice. Deals 350% damage to all opponents, medium chance to burn opponents for 3 turns, increases all allies' power by 25% for 2 turns, not too overpowered, very SRE-esque, so I like it. Action skill 1, sorry for the sudden explosion, deals 275% damage to a single opponent, high chance of blinding the opponent for 3 turns, increases all allies' defenses by 20% for 2 turns, medium chance of burning the opponent for 2 turns. I think she also needs to have like a low chance to stun herself or something for 1 turn, like the remainder of the turn basically, so she doesn't get her normal skill, because that would be also very May Hatsume-esque because she gets herself caught in her explosions, right? And this is an SR character, so I think that'd be a little bit more fair. And then action skill 2, baby number 49, deals 250% damage to a single opponent, increases all allies' critical hit rate by 25% when used in a successfully executed skill chain. Percentage is a little bit high. If you change this to a 3rd successfully executed skill chain, I'll give you the 25% percentage because that is more fair. This skill becomes a bullseye if allies are ecstatic. Okay, that's fine. And I'm not going to complain about that because that's actually nice to have on an SR character for once, especially when we're thinking about VE Tower and we're thinking about using this SR character in VE Tower. Her first auto skill is called Failure is the Mother of Invention. I actually like that. You put a lot of thought into these names. Increases character's power by 30% when allies are buffed by the character. Increases character's skill impact by 20% when Tenya Ida or Izuku Midoriya are on the team. Like, I really do like that. I like how you've put character stipulations on it. Good, very good. Auto skill, Reckless Client Demands, decreases all opponents' defenses by 20% when they are blinded, maybe 10%. Increases character's critical impact by 20% when opponents are burning. Okay, fair enough. And then makes all allies ecstatic for 3 turns from the start of battle. Okay, yeah, that's actually a pretty good kit. Not too many complaints. Like, you did a solid job. We have Scorcher with a UR rekindled Dabi. So I'm assuming that means his white hair version, hopefully. So I'm excited to read this. I honestly am. Been waiting for a white hair Dabi in game. Obviously hasn't happened yet. So plus ultra, prominence burn, deals... Yep, this has to be the... Okay, obviously it has to be the white-haired Dabi. Deals 700% damage to a single opponent. High chance of burning the opponent for 4 turns. High chance of burning the character for 4 turns. Fair enough. Skill impact is increased by 50% if the opponent is Endeavor or Shoto Todoroki. Hell yeah, that's great. Action skill 1, Cremation Hug, deals 400% damage to a single opponent. Medium chance of burning the opponent for 3 turns. High chance of burning the character for 3 turns. Also increases all allies' speed by 35% when used in a 2nd or later successfully executed skill chain. I can see you are kind of nicing yourself, giving yourself the PvP and PvE aspects of the character with the speed and the burning. Fair enough. Action skill 2. I don't care if you live or die either. Increases character's critical hit rate relative to character speed. Ooh, okay. Maximum 30%. Good on you for putting that there. Also decreases character's defense by 25% if the character is burning. Okay, fair enough. Decreasing your own defense, fair enough. Okay, actually pretty balanced so far. Okay, let's read the first auto skill though. I'm really sad. Increases character speed by 50% if a League of Villains ally dies. Hey, okay, now I see which Dabi you're talking about. You're talking about the one that fights Hawks. Okay. Increases character speed by 35% if there are any League of Villains characters on the team. Maybe a little bit lower percentage for that. Auto skill 2, Endeavor. Once per battle, increases characters plus Ultra Gauge by 50% if defense is decreased. Okay, so one time he'll do it. Fair enough. And there is an Endeavor on the opposing team. Good stipulations. Further increases characters plus Ultra Gauge by 5% and speed by 5% each time Endeavor lands a hit on the character up to 5 times. Okay, you know what? Not bad. I like the character specific targeting. And then we have his, what would be Unawakened Dart, and then him awakening into the white-haired one. Okay, yeah, that would actually be, they do need something like this. This is what the game needs desperately. So yeah, I really like that one. All right, and lastly for this video, we have one more kit to go over. Now, before I even go over this kit, if you did not see your character, your kit, or I didn't go over all of your characters because some people design multiple, I will be trying to do it in a future video. I'll try to get somebody on my Discord to go ahead and remove the ones that I've already done, keep the ones that haven't been done yet, and hopefully you guys will get priority in the next video. So if you guys do want to make your own characters and you haven't done so yet, make sure you join my Discord, like I said before, down in the description below. All right, so this one is from Dip, and they gave us a little heads up. I am very much not knowledgeable on kits in this game, but I'll try my best. So just keep that in mind I'll try to keep that in mind as I'm reading this, so I'm not too mean. All right, so we have an int. You are world I never knew Tomura Shigaraki. Plus ultra move. You always were cool. Okay, I like the title. Deals 600% damage to a single opponent. Could be a little bit higher if this is supposed to be the DX final level. If it's like starting level, not terrible. Inflicts fear on targeted enemy, just guaranteed fear. Okay, a little overpowered. Medium chance of inflicting blind. Oh, technically he does blind Aizawa, so you know, fair enough. I would say medium chance to fear, guaranteed chance of blinding, to be fair. Action skill 1, search, decreases targeted opponent's attack and defense by 30%, gives character cover for 2 turns. I would actually, who does he really cover? He's fighting by himself, you know, especially because usually they base kits around the anime and what the character does. I would actually change this to like gives character a defense buff for so many turns, like 3 turns and a fairly high defense buff, because think about it, he's taking on multiple pro heroes at once. Or give him health regen or something like that, because he has so much health regen going on. That's also a thing. All right, action skill 2, destroy everything, deals 300% damage to all opponents, medium chance of inflicting fear. A little bit underpowered on the ability. You could give him a little bit more with that. Give him some technicals, something like that. His first auto skill is Quirk Overload. When character uses 4 action skills, increases plus ultra damage by an additional 300%. Guaranteed to inflict blind upon use, inflicts bleed on self. Okay. Action skills, maybe change that to action skills are guaranteed to inflict blind on use, and then it makes sense because now both your action skills have blind, which is kind of cool because you're using an auto skill to give them their status elements, which is unique and I don't think has ever been done before. And then auto skill 2, Nomu Strength Encapsulated. When character is inflicted with bleed, regenerate 20% health for 3 turns, increases own defense by 20%. So there's some health regen. There's the defense. I feel like these should probably be up here on action skill 1. And then you should probably come up with a slightly better auto skill 2. But overall, not bad. I like it. Home screen voice line. That's what makes us heroes and villains. And we got the art, of course. Very cool. Very nice kit. Anyways, guys, that was the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will be going over the anniversary kits here in a day or two, so make sure if you aren't already subscribed for that, go down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on this video. I am trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. Please, 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 I am begging you guys, go down there, hit the subscribe button. If you guys are watching this video, if you watch any of my videos and you aren't subscribed yet, help me out. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.